नमस्कार. रयत ऑनलाईन स्कूल एज्युकेशन मध्ये पुन्हा एकदा मी आपलं स्वागत करतो. आजच्या सेशनचा सब्जेक्ट आहे फिजिक्स. युनिट आहे रोटेशनल डायनॅमिक्स. त्यामधील काही सब पॉइंट्स आपण बघणार आहोत. इन दिस चॅप्टर वी हॅव ऑलरेडी स्टडीड दॅट व्हॉट इज मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया. The moment of inertia is the sum of products of the mass of each particle and the square of its distance from the axis of rotation is called as the moment of inertia. This moment of inertia can be mathematically represented as I equal to summation of mi ri square, where I equal to 1 to n. This moment of inertia depends upon the individual masses which are situated in the rotating body and the distribution of the masses about the axis of rotation. This moment of inertia can also be explained as I equal to integration of r square dm. Now dm is the mass element of this laminar body. This laminar body, it is composed of small masses like dm. Here is one of the mass element dm which is at a distance of r from the axis of rotation of the body. The theorem of the perpendicular axis. This is the important theorem so as to find the moment of inertia about an axis of rotation which is perpendicular to the other two axes of rotations. The moment of inertia of a laminar body is equal to the sum of moment of inertia about two mutually perpendicular axes in the plane of the lamina and intersecting at the point where the perpendicular axis cuts the lamina. In this diagram we can see one laminar body. This body is in the horizontal plane of the xy axis which are perpendicular to each other, and there is a third axis which is perpendicular to the both x and y axis, and we are going to find the moment of inertia of a lamina about the z-axis. These three axes, they are mutually perpendicular to each other, and according to the principle or the theorem of the perpendicular axis, we can obtain Iz is equal to Ix plus Iy. Now these are the three axes of rotations x, y and z. X and y is perpendicular to each other, and z is the axis of rotation which is perpendicular to x and y axis, and it is perpendicular to the plane of the lamina. Ix is the moment of inertia of a lamina about x axis. Iy is the moment of inertia of a lamina about y axis, and the Iz is the moment of inertia about a z axis which is perpendicular to both the axes. We can write Ix plus Iy equal to Iz. This is according to the theorem of the perpendicular axis. Now we will prove this theorem of the perpendicular axis. For the proof, consider the plane lamina in the horizontal plane xy. On the lamina there is a point O which is the intersection of the axis. In this diagram we can see the x and y axis are there which are perpendicular to each other and intersect at the point O. There is a third axis, z axis is there which is perpendicular to the plane of the lamina and again intersecting at point O. Now we will consider a point P which has mass dm. It is small mass, and this point P or the mass is at a distance of r from the axis of rotation, that is from the z axis. If we draw perpendicular from the P on both the axes x and y, we get the distance of the point P from the x and y axis. This point P is at a distance of x from the y axis, and point P is at a distance of y from the x axis. Now the axis of rotation is z. This lamina is rotating about an axis of rotation, and it is along the z axis intersecting at point O. The element dm is at a distance of y from the x axis, therefore we can write the moment of inertia for the element about an x axis, that is equal to y square dm. This is according to the definition of the moment of inertia, mass into square of the distance, mass into square of the distance. Now this is the moment of inertia for the element having mass dm for the x-axis. From this we can write the moment of inertia of the lamina about x-axis. It will be denoted by Ix and it will be equal to integration of the y square dm. एलिमेंटचा जो मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया आहे त्याचे इंटिग्रेशन घेतलं, त्याची सम घेतली की आपल्याला मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया ऑफ द लॅमिना मिळणार आहे फॉर द पर्टिक्युलर एक्स ॲक्सिस. सिमिलरली वी कॅन फाइंड द मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया ऑफ अ लॅमिना अबाउट y axis. This will be the moment of inertia of a lamina about y axis. त्याच्यासाठी आपण पहिल्यांदा एलिमेंटचा मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया काढलेला आहे y axis साठी, तो x² dm असेल, आणि मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया ऑफ ए लॅमिना अबाउट y axis तो iy असेल. iy is equal to integration of x² dm. This is equation 1, this is equation 2. ix आणि iy आपल्याला मिळालेले आहेत. आता तिसरा जो ऍक्सिस आहे झेड ऍक्सिस, त्याच्याकरिता मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया आपण काढणार आहे. पहिल्यांदा एलिमेंट साठी काढणार dm, त्याचं मास आहे तो r एवढ्या डिस्टन्स वरती आहे. देअरफॉर मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया ऑफ ए एलिमेंट अबाउट झेड ऍक्सिस इट विल बी r² dm. फ्रॉम दिस मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया of the element we can write the moment of inertia of a lamina about z axis, and it will be equal to integration of r² dm. But from the figure, r² can be modified as x² plus y², means r² is equal to x² plus y². It is according to the Pythagoras theorem, because x and y both are perpendicular to the respective axes from the point P, and therefore r² is equal to x² plus y². This is the equation number 4. If we substitute the values from the equation 3 and 4, we can write Iz is equal to integration of r² dm. r² होता है, but r² is nothing but x² plus y². Therefore integration of x² plus y² into dm, x² plus y² with respect to dm. Now Iz can be modified as integration of x² with respect to dm and integration of y² with respect to dm, या दोघांचे addition असेल. But this integration of x² with respect to dm is nothing but the iy, and the integration of y² dm is nothing but the ix. Therefore we can write Iz is equal to ix plus iy. This is the required proof of the theorem of the perpendicular axis. Iz is equal to ix plus iy. Now the second point of the discussion is the angular momentum or the moment of the linear momentum. We can define simply the angular momentum as the moment of linear momentum is called as the angular momentum. Now in this diagram we can see the linear momentum. In this diagram there is a disc shaped body which is in the horizontal plane, and it is rotating about the vertical axis which is perpendicular to the plane of the lamina. It is indicated by this red arrow. R is the radius of the circular lamina, and the linear momentum is along the direction of this blue arrow, and it is given by m into v, mass into linear velocity. It is nothing but the linear momentum of the body. This is the linear momentum, this is the radius vector, and this vector indicates the angular momentum L for the rotating lamina. This L, it has a direction which is given by the right hand thumb rule. If the axis of rotation is held in your right hand, and if curl finger denotes the direction of rotation of the lamina, and the thumb it is stretched on the axis of rotation, then we can obtain the direction of the vector angular momentum in the direction of the stretched thumb. This is the direction of the angular momentum, which is given by the right hand thumb rule. In this diagram, we can again see the vector angular momentum and the linear momentum. This is the plane lamina. This lamina is rotating in the anticlockwise sense. O is the center of the circular lamina, and the axis of rotation passes through O, which is perpendicular to the plane of the lamina. Plane of the lamina is the horizontal plane. Now this R is the radius vector, and from this radius vector we can draw the velocity vector as well as the linear momentum vector in the direction. And the direction of the angular momentum, it is given by the right hand thumb rule, and this is the direction of the angular momentum. The linear momentum of a body of mass m moving with the velocity v, it given by vector p, that is equal to m into vector v. M is the mass and v is the linear velocity of the body. The angular momentum, it can be written as vector r cross vector p. P is the linear momentum and r is the moment arm. This moment arm can be seen in this diagram. That is, vector L becomes vector r cross vector p. Instead p, we can write m into v, and therefore the equation becomes vector L equal to vector r into m into v. Again, we can modify this equation as vector L is equal to m into bracket vector r cross vector v. From this equation, we can find the magnitude of the angular momentum. If we solve the cross product of r and v, we get L equal to m into v into r into sine of theta. This theta is the angle between r and v. R is the radius vector or the moment arm, and v is the linear velocity of the particle which is rotating in the horizontal plane. In this way, we can calculate the magnitude of the angular momentum with this simplified formula. If theta is 90 degree, that is the angle between radius vector and the velocity vector, linear velocity vector is 90 degree, the equation can be modified as L equal to m into v into r. This will be the standard equation for the angular momentum, which is represented by a letter L. Now this is the physical quantity. Angular momentum is one of the physical quantity. It has unit and dimension. The SI unit of the angular momentum is given by kilogram meter square per second, and the CGS unit, it is given by gram centimeter square per second. The dimensions can be obtained by simple mathematics, and it will be m raised to 1, L raised to 2 and T raised to minus 1. The question can be asked, define angular momentum of a rotating body, obtain its units and dimensions. Now the second point of discussion is the expression for the angular momentum in terms of the moment of inertia. For this, there is a certain, consider a rigid body. This is the rigid body of irregular shape, and this body is rotating about an axis passing through the point O. This is the axis of rotation, and this will pass through the point O. The plane of the rotation of this irregular shaped laminar body is the horizontal plane, and the axis of rotation is perpendicular to the horizontal plane. The body is rotating with a constant speed, that is the angular speed of the body is omega. It is shown here. The total mass of the body is equal to capital M. This body is composed of very small masses. These are the M1, M2, M3, M up to Mn masses are there, which are situated in the body. These masses, they are at a distance of r1, r2, r3, rn from the axis of rotation, and these masses, they have also in a state of motion, they are rotating about an axis of rotation, and therefore they have a certain linear speed, and the speed of these particles, respective particles, are v1, v2, v3. For the nth particle, it will be vn. In this diagram, we can observe all these quantities. There is another quantity written, that is p1, p2 and pn. P1 represents the linear momentum of the mass of the particle having mass m1. P2 will be linear momentum for the particle having mass m2, and Pn will be the linear momentum having mass mn. These are some important terms in the diagram. The particle of mass m1, it is situated at a distance of r1 from the axis of rotation, and this particle having mass m1 is rotating with a linear speed of v1. We can write the speed v1 equal to r1 into omega. This is the relation between linear speed and angular speed. v1 equal to r1 into omega. Omega remains constant for each mass, each particle omega will be constant. Now the magnitude of the linear momentum, which is shown here, P1 is the linear momentum for the particle having mass m1, it will be P1 is equal to m1 into v1. If we substitute the value of v1, that is equal to r1 into omega, the P1 becomes m1 r1 omega. This will be the linear momentum. This will be the magnitude of linear momentum. From this equation, we can find the magnitude of the angular momentum for the particle having mass m1, and it will be L1 is equal to P1 into r1. P1 is the linear momentum and r1 is the moment arm. This is the moment arm. Again we substitute the value of P1. P1 is equal to m1 r1 omega. आपण जर इथे सबस्टिट्यूट केलं तर आपल्याला L1 ची किंमत मिळणार आहे L1 equal to m1 r1 square into omega. This will be the angular momentum of the body for the particle having mass m1. Similarly, we can find the magnitudes of the angular momentum for the particles having masses m2, m3, mn, and these values of the angular momentums will be L2, L3, and it will be m2 r2 square into omega. For L3 we can write m3 r3 square into omegas, and finally we can write for the nth particle having mass mn, it will be ln equal to mn rn square omega. These are the individual magnitudes of the angular momentum for the particles which are rotating, which are on the surface of the rotating lamina. Therefore, we can find the total angular momentum of the rotating body. The total angular momentum, it will be the sum of individual momentum. Therefore, the L equal to L1 plus L2 plus L3 plus up to particle having mass mn, it will be ln. If we substitute the respective values of the angular momentum, we will get this equation. In this equation, we can see omega is constant. Therefore, m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square plus m3 r3 square plus up to plus mn rn square, this bracketed quantity, this will be the sum of the product of mass and square of the distance of the particle from the axis of rotation, and this bracketed quantity is nothing but the moment of inertia I of the rotating lamina. Therefore, we can write L equal to I into omega. This angular momentum is the vector quantity, and therefore vector L is equal to I into vector omega. This is the required equation of the angular momentum of a rotating body. This rotating body, it must have a smaller thickness.